Hi there, Mike MacArthur from the Oshkosh Public Library with another edition of This Month in Library History. This year marks the 125th anniversary of the Oshkosh Public Library's home on Washington Avenue, and to celebrate, every month I'm taking a look at interesting things that happened that month over the course of our 125 years. June 3rd, 1911, specimens of antique Chinese art. So the library was gifted two brass Chinese lions, said to be over 500 years old. They said they called them lions, but they're supposed to be dragons, I'm not sure. But we still have them somewhere. June 12th, 1983, library exhibit continues. Some new art reproductions were donated and on display at the library. They were donated by the Friends of the Oshkosh Public Library, who maintained a collection of art that you could check out. How cool is that? By 1983, there were over 300 pieces of art that you could just check out and hang on your walls and then return like a book. June 17th, 1997, Artist Enshrined Library opens exhibit. When Marvel Comics legend Mark Gruenwald, who is from Oshkosh and went to UWO, passed away in 1996, his will gave the library a full set of 30-bound books with every comic book he ever wrote for Marvel. Captain America, Iron Man, U.S. Agent, tons of stuff. The library also received a limited edition Marvel poster that was printed in ink that had some of Mark Gruenwald's ashes in it still. And that is still up on the walls of the teen area. Seems appropriate, right? June 21st, 2000, library offers a new way to enjoy favorites. The latest technologically advanced way to bring books to you was a growing collection called the Book on CD. In 2000, they were up to 153 books at that Books on CD. It always weirds me out that it took us that long, for Books on CD to totally overtake Books on tape. But, even in the late 90s, having a CD player in your car was still kind of like fancy. June 22nd, 1978, director presents last report to the library board. Longtime library director Leonard Archer was nearing the end of his 20-year career at the library, which started in 1958. Joined the library at a time of great modernization in libraries. June 24th, 1992, Oshkosh librarian on committee. Youth Services librarian Sarah McCarville is elected to the American Library Association's 1994 Newbery Awards Committee, which is huge. The Newbery Awards like the biggest award in children's and youth literature you could possibly get, and one of the judges was an Oshkosh public librarian. It's amazing. The book that they selected for 1994 was The Giver by Lois Lowry, an instant classic. So it's amazing that, Oshkosh had a hand in picking that classic novel as an award winner. June 25th, 1986, library's fine system changed. Just every couple of decades, we changed the fine system. In 1986, it was the first update to the fine system they had had since 1961. To think 30 years later, quite recently, they did away with fines entirely because what we found out is, one, fining people doesn't remind them to bring books back. I work here and I get fines. And people who are really prone to fines tend to just never return the book and stop coming to the library. And June 28th, 1895, the Harris Bequest. So it was on this day in 1895 that we learned that with the passing of Abby Harris, the library was gifted the Harris estate up to about $75,000, yada, 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 to build the library. What's notable about this is that it was Abby Harris. We have Marshall Harris everywhere, but it was really Abby Harris that changed the Harris will and made the bequest official. Marshall Harris had talked about it in his later days, but never amended the will before he passed away. So it was up to Abby Harris, who thankfully did. So in 1895, when she passed away, we started the process of getting the library we have today. Big month in June.